Accurate data entry is the foundation of successful tax preparation, and when it comes to tax forms, even small mistakes can lead to big issues. In this video, we'll guide you through the proper entry and handling of W-2, 1099 NEC, 1099 MISC, and Schedule C within ProWeb. Whether you're working with employees, independent contractors, or self-employed clients, this step-by-step walkthrough will help you efficiently navigate the software and these forms. Let's start with the W-2. From the Federal Income menu, find the option W-2 and select Begin. If the filing status on the tax return is Married Filing Joint, you will need to specify who the W-2 belongs to. Once you do, the Employee section below will pre-fill based on what was added in the Personal Information menu. Next, you'll be able to specify the type of W-2 the taxpayer has: standard, corrected, substitute, or railroad. Next, enter the EIN for the employer that is listed on the W-2, followed by the employer name and address. Next, enter the wages from Box 1 of the W-2. Once you do, boxes 3 through 6 will pre-fill automatically based on the tax tables for Social Security and Medicare. You can make adjustments to these boxes if it is different on the physical W-2. In Box 2, be sure to include the federal tax withheld. Using the remaining boxes, enter any additional amounts from the W-2. This includes Box 12 and Box 14. The codes for both can be quickly added by using the code drop-downs. At the bottom of the W-2 entry menu, you have the option to include state information. First, select the state from the drop-down available. The wages in Box 16 will automatically populate based on what was entered in Box 1. This can be adjusted if needed. Then, enter the state's EIN, state taxes paid, and any local state tax information that needs to be included. If your taxpayer's W-2 has more than one state, select Add State to enter another. Once you have completed the W-2 entry, you can either choose Save and enter another to immediately start a new W-2 entry, or you can click Continue to navigate to the W-2 Wage Statement menu. This menu will give you a quick view of all the W-2s that have been added on this tax return. Next, let's look at the 1099 NEC. From the Main Income menu, locate the option 1099 NEC for non-employee compensation, then select Begin. If the filing status on the tax return is Married Filing Joint, you will first need to specify who the 1099 NEC is being entered for. The address for the recipient section will automatically pull from the address entered in Basic Information. Next, you will enter the payer information. This includes the payer's TIN, name, and address. After payer information, you will review the recipient information. This has pulled from Basic Information, but you can make any adjustments as needed. After the recipient information has been added, you will then enter the non-employee compensation from Box 1 of the 1099 NEC. If there is any federal withholding in Box 4, be sure to include that as well. Lastly, if there are any states listed on the 1099 NEC or amounts in Box 5 and/or 7, check the box to include the information on the return. When you're finished entering the information from the 1099 NEC form, click Continue. The program will then ask if the 1099 should be linked to a Schedule C or Schedule F. Select the correct schedule and click Continue. If the Schedule C or Schedule F already exist on the return, the program will ask you if a new schedule is needed for the 1099, or if the 1099 should be linked to a schedule that already exists on the return. If the tax return does not already have a Schedule C or Schedule F created, you will be guided to the Schedule Entry menu. We'll look at Schedule C later in this video. Now let's look at how the 1099 MISC is handled in ProWeb. From the Main Income menu, locate 1099 MISC. Then choose Begin. If the filing status on the tax return is Married Filing Joint, you will first need to specify who the 1099 MISC is being entered for. The address for the recipient section will automatically pull from the address entered in Basic Information. Next, you will enter the payer information. This includes the payer's TIN, name, and address. After payer information, you will review the recipient information. This has pulled from Basic Information, but you can make any adjustments as needed. After the recipient information has been added, you will then enter the information presented on the 1099 MISC. Be sure to include the amount from each box on the tax form. Lastly, if there are any states listed on the 1099 MISC or amounts in box 16 and/or 18, check the box to include the information on the return. When you're finished entering the information from the 1099 MISC form, the program will help you determine where the amount should carry, Schedule E, Schedule C, or to Schedule 1. If the 1099 is being carried to a Schedule E or Schedule C, and the schedule already exists on the return, the program will ask you if a new schedule is needed for the 1099, or if the 1099 should be linked to a schedule that already exists on the return. If the tax return does not already have a Schedule C or Schedule E created, you will be guided to the Schedule Entry menu. If the 1099 is being carried to Schedule 1, the program will simply indicate this, and you will continue with the return. Now let's look at how to input a Schedule C in the ProWeb software. From the main income menu, find the option Schedule C, Profit or Loss from a Business, and click Begin. As before, if the tax return's filing status is Married Filing Joint, you will need to specify who the tax form belongs to. Then, fill out the name and address for the business. This also includes the EIN if the business has been registered with one. Under Business Type, you will need to indicate the business code and provide a description of the business. If you aren't sure which business code to put, use the link provided to view the full list of codes from the IRS. Use the search bar to find the business type that most closely matches. Then select it from the list. This will pre-fill the Schedule C with the business code and description. When the heading information for the business has been added, click Continue. This will take you into the main Schedule C menu. From here, you can enter income, expenses, and other information that is vital for the taxpayer's business. Questions about your business will allow you to enter the accounting method used to value inventory, and mark other options that may apply to the taxpayer. You should review this menu before moving forward to income and expenses. Under income, there are 4 main categories. Find the category that matches the income you need to add. Once you do, income for the Schedule C can be added as a total amount, or you can itemize out the income items by using the list icon on the right. The itemized option allows you to enter each income item separately that should be used to calculate the total for that income category. Simply add the description for the item and set the amount. Click Continue to save. You can quickly add more itemized amounts by choosing Add Another Item. When you're finished adding all the amounts, click Continue to go back to the Income menu. The program will take the total from the itemized amounts and pull it to the Income menu. Once all income amounts have been added, click Continue to save and navigate back to the Schedule C menu. Next, select General Expenses from the Schedule C menu. Using the different categories available, you will capture the expenses the Schedule C incurred during the tax year. As we saw with the income, the expenses can be added as a total amount, but also can be added as an itemized list using the list icon. This allows you to ensure each allowable expense is captured for the taxpayer. Once all of the general expenses have been added, click Continue at the bottom to save. Depreciation on a Schedule C is added separately from general expenses. When you select Depreciation from the Schedule C menu, you are directed to the Form 4562 menu. To make an entry, click Begin next to Assets. You will be prompted to enter the description of the asset, the date the asset was placed in service, the cost of the asset, and the percentage the asset was used for the business. You can also capture Section 179 deductions, special depreciation, or accumulated depreciation if needed. Next, select the depreciation method for the asset you're entering and include the useful life for the asset. For assets that were disposed of, enter the date of disposition here. If the asset is considered listed property, select the appropriate option from the Listed Property section and fill out any required boxes that appear. When you have finished entering the asset, click Continue to save. This will take you to the main list of depreciation assets added on the Schedule C. You can quickly add new assets by selecting Add another asset. Click Continue to navigate back to the Schedule C menu. Before saving the Schedule C, be sure to review the other menu options listed and enter any information that is relevant for your taxpayer. In this walkthrough, we covered the essential steps for entering and managing key tax forms in ProWeb. You learned how to input employer and recipient information, link forms to the appropriate schedules, and navigate income, expenses, and depreciation entries on a Schedule C. By following the steps outlined in this guide, you'll be equipped to accurately and confidently navigate the entries of Forms W-2, 1099 NEC, 1099 MISC, and Schedule C within ProWeb.